All action packed day for you to look forward to when it comes to the FIFA World Cup. As the pharaohs of Egypt, just like in the Bible, wanted to stop the Israelites, but the Argentines said, "We're going to do this. You are the Red Sea for that game." Also, we'll be looking straight into the local front as Fidelis Ilechukwu has taken up, a new mandate to get actually is a CAF A and CAF B license. Also, we're talking about the world of transfer, giving you updates in the Wimbledon as Korikoko Golf are finally getting a hand in the semi-final stage of the Wimbledon. Novak Djokovic had to play 5 hours against Ali Azim, and he was telling his daughters to go and sleep, and they said, "No, Dad, we must finish this one with you right here in Wimbledon." All of this and more right here on the show this wonderful morning. I am Paul Abe Toluwanimi, and I'm not alone in the studio this wonderful morning. I have the Knight of Honor himself, Sanuruddin Alimi, joining us to talk sport right here on the go. Sanuruddin, it's good to have you. Before the show, we're speaking to the general manager, of TV and of the whole thing, and we're looking back-to-back actions of everything, going on with the world of football, with FIFA, and all of that. And here you are. I'm sure you have your voice to lend out to the world. Top of the morning to you.
Good morning to you, and good morning to our viewers. It's nice to be back again. And you said it all in your intro. Egypt, they were stopped in the end in overcoming the Israelites in the mode of Argentina this time around, and they failed to end the match. They failed again, and it was just controversial, and a lot of drama erupted from that game. A lot of reactions still trailing what happened in the game, from the refereeing decisions to things that happened on the field of play. And it's just interesting to see that a lot of people are demanding for equal rights and equal referee in games now, because it's looking shambolic, and that's not what you want on the grandest stage of football. We have not recovered from the Infantino Trump Balogun call that led to him playing against Belgium in quarterfinals, and now we've with another wave of controversies, and it's just interesting, and we are here to talk about that. And alongside that, when the match was going on in Wimbledon, Djokovic was fighting the match of his life against Al-Azin, and it was just interesting to see. And that's remind you how resilient you have to be to keep up with the tennis game. 5 hours standing, and just had to do it in a 5-set trailer. It was interesting to see, and makes him Al-Azin the only player to take Roger Federer and Djokovic into 5-setters in a Wimbledon game. It was just interesting to see, and we'll talk about that too alongside. It's just nice to be back here. And on the local front, Fidelis Ilechukwu is trying to improve his career and all, and I see him as one for the future for the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
All right, let's take more stories making around in the world of sport from the local desk this wonderful morning, and that's coming through from Olukisment FC. As the midfielder Pokwala Ridwan joined our FC in UAE from Casablanca, right there in Hungary. The Olukisment product takes another big step in his career. The club president, Prince Olumide Adeboye, praised the management work with the special mention to Mr. Bode for handling the deal. Sanuruddin, Olukisment yet again, grassroots football onto the big stage.
Always in the news for the good things, and it's exciting to see that another budding star from the roots of Olukisment has done it again, and we only give them kudos for continuing to project our young boys and young athletes to the world on the big stage. Nice one for them, and congratulations to all parties that were involved, because it's a very big achievement. We are churning out stars for tomorrow, and they are going to do big things in the end. Great one for them, and kudos to them.
I want to ask you quickly. It's been months we always talk about the Olukisment Foundation. What cue can other grassroots development take from this? I think a few days ago, we saw on Twitter that the Ojo Igalo Club also were taking 2 of the academic products outside the country. All of this, how do some grassroots development take a cue from the likes of the Olukisment Foundation?
This is what we employ other grassroots competitions and grassroots coaches and owners to do. Breed your talents properly and push them on the right stages. Get them the proper network that would elevate their careers. And it's exciting to see these clubs taking the bold step of helping youngsters who don't have the flurry of getting out of the hood or out of the streets, giving them go through proper documentation, because that's what actually helps and what actually counts. If you are shading your dealings, you won't get to the big stage. And alongside, one of the benchmarks in international footballing is going to actually get up with you and then denounce your eligibility, and also it's good for your integrity as well. Take the proper route, do proper documentation, and we need a whole lot of it. You mentioned the other Igalo Foundation as well, doing something as such as Olucasement. We need other bodies and other academies to learn from them. What model is working for them in this foundation? What checks are they putting in place to get the right players for the right jobs and pushing them to the big stage? So good one for them, and I hope other people emulate this and promote the growth of the game in the country.
All right, beautiful. Big congratulations once again to Popola Ridwan on his move to European football, and right there from Hungary, and also big congratulations to the Olucasement Academy, and also the president of the academy, Prince Olumide Adeboye. Let's move away from that. Let's take stories coming through from the MPFL champions, and the manager Fidelis Ilechukwu begins his UEFA B license coaching course in Scotland. This move marks a major step in the tactician development as a seek to broaden his tactical and technical knowledge and meet international coaching benchmarks. This is the progress we look forward to.
This is a good one, and investing in himself and investing in the future of his career is a very great one. And currently, you can mention 3, 4, 5 coaches in the MPFL. I'm not mentioning him. It's part of the setup for the Super Eagles. That's to show you how intelligent and how great a tactician he is. And he's doing well for himself. 2 times in the last 3 times now, they've been champions of Nigeria. That's to show you something is going well. And like I mentioned earlier in my intro, I look at him as one for the future for the Super Eagles job. Maybe when we get coaches on the high level again, and that made the standards of what we want in and around the world, or probably maybe with the Chan Eagles or something. But I definitely hope is in line for a big job with the Super Eagles looking forward.
All right, big ups to Fidelis Ilechukwu taking a course right there, the UEFA B license course, right there in Scotland, and we'll be giving you more update from that scene if we get more reports from Fidelis Ilechukwu. Let's talk about what's happening this month, the WAFCON. As the Super Falcons step up the WAFCON preparation in Morocco, the Super Falcons will continue preparations for 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations in Mohammedia before moving to Rabat for the group stage of the competition. Let me inform you that the 10-time African champions head into the competition after the friendly matches against Cameroon, Senegal, and we face Malawi, Zimbabwe, Egypt in Group C. There you have it. You'll see that on the screen. Nigeria will play Malawi on 28th of July, Zambia on the 1st of August, and Egypt on the 5th of August as they begin their defense on the continental title. The tournament will also serve as African qualifier for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup, with 4 semi-finalists earning automatic qualifications.
Anytime from now, we'll get a list of players that represent the colors of Nigeria as possible to get them acclimatized with the weather situations and everything that's going on around in Morocco leading up to the competition. Big ups to them for doing that, but it's something to announce it and it's something to implement it. That's the case when it comes to the Super Eagles and Super Falcons. We need to see things running into play first before we give a big or conclusive kudos to the people in charge of things in and around there. So looking forward to the competition. Later this month, we'll see the best of African football from the women's scene. And qualifiers for the World Cup is an incentive that comes around with the WAFCON every time it comes around. And I'm looking forward to see the title defense of the Falcons.
All right, let's see how far. If you can just look at the group as Anuruddin, do you think we have all it takes to come out of that group in Group C? Nigeria, Zambia, Egypt, and Malawi.
It's WAFCON, and I don't place. I'm sorry if it sounds like disrespect to our other opponents. They are the champions of WAFCON. 10 times on the Mission X was completed, even through the tribulations and all that showed that, and now they're champions again, and they're looking forward to add to their tally of 10 already. I expect them to win the competition, not even win out as group winners alone. They have to play through the competition and get the trophy home for the girls.
All right, so Sanuruddin is super excited for this one and saying, because I think when we had the Mission X, we're having the same conversations about the players' preparation and all of that. And it just went past it again.
Yes, they went past it again. I think that is what has contributed to us placing expectations on them. We pick them up 2-3 weeks to the competition and definitely expect them to give you a stunning performance. Least at all, they get the ticket to the World Cup and get to the semi-finals and maybe win the bronze medal at the end of the day. So it's turned to a norm for us to witness the girls do these things. We're expecting nothing less than the gold medal from this competition.
Are you going to be disappointed if the Super Falcons don't get any medal when it comes to this?
I'll definitely be disappointed. That's what I'm saying. For the past 4, 5, 6, 7 editions I can remember off my head, they always get to the semi-finals and get the tickets to represent Africa at the World Cup. So that's the least. That's the lowest bar they can go to for me. And they are icing on the cake every time they are champions 2 or 3 times in 4 years. So I'm used to it. I'm sport of seeing the African women, Nigerian women live to the WAFCON trophy. So I'm not expecting nothing short of that again in this coming competition. I just want better preparations, better conditions, and no delays in paying their incentives out. Put things in proper perspective, get them the proper residency over there, and don't give them issues. If in another situation would have been sent off before he got the chance to equal the ball into the net. And the winning goal for the Argentinian side, a carbon copy of what happened earlier that chalked off what should have been a second goal for the Egyptian side in the game. So that has cancelled themselves out. They played to their hearts. They played very well.
So are you saying the Argentines did not play football yesterday?
They played football, but they got aided. They got aid from the referees in the game and the VAR team that slept off when they were supposed to be switched on. So that happened the way it happened, and that's definitely not the fault of the Egyptians that the decisions didn't go their way, things went against them. But also not the fault of the Argentinian side. If the referee had done the right thing, taking the right decisions in the game, chalked off goals that were supposed to be chalked off, didn't give fouls and brought out the yellow cards at the time supposed to bring them out, definitely the game would have been more balanced and every team would have had the chance to go on and on to win the game if they are going to win it. So a lot of things went against the Egyptians in form of the refereeing decisions, and the Argentinians benefited from that, and at the end of the day, they got the victory.
All right, let's listen to the coach of the Egyptian as he was given the press interview after the game, and also we'll watch some videos and come back to analyze what exactly is going on with FIFA, with the court, and also with the Argentine system. All of this and more right here on Dominion Television.
لوطن عربي او افريقيا وبلدي في مصر، وبقول لهم يعني انا اسف ان انا ما كنت نفسي ان انا اكمل لابعد مدى، لكن انا ما تزعلوش، لكن كل ده اتعمل في وقت قليل ان احنا عملنا فرقه منتخب يشرف الكره المصريه والعربيه والافريقيه.
قيمة المباراة لو سمحتش خطورة كانت في متناول اليد، كنتوا قريبين جدا، اللاعبين المصريين أدوا أداء تاريخي. تقييم حضرة جنابك للمباراة؟
الحمد لله احنا كنا أحسن، بس الكرة لسه يعني أنا شايف إنه نوت فير بالأولاد بالإنجليزي وبالعربي اللي بيحصل ده مش فير. احنا لينا اتلغى جون ما اعرفش ليه اتلغى جون، وبعد كده كنا ممكن نبقى 3-1 اتقلبت 2-2. الكره البنالتي اللي اتشد جوه ال 18 شد راجل حمدي، ما اعرفش هو ممكن يكون ممكن الموضوع بقى يبقى تسويق، يعني هو ممكن يكونوا عايزين يعملوا كاس العالم، عايزين يخلوا بطل الكاس العالم اللي فات يكون موجود، عايزين يخلوا ميسي موجود، لكن احنا عملنا اللي علينا. بشكر لعيبتي جدا وبقول للجماهير المصريه والشعب المصري والعربي والافريقي، بقول لهم كتير من الاوقات ممكن تتعب وتعمل اللي عليك، بس في نفس الوقت في عوامل تانية خالص تبقى صعبه، لكن بقول لهم احنا كنت اتمنى ان احنا نفرحكم اكتر من كده.
It's been fantastic. I don't think that...
What a record.
I'm not going to take the glass of Messi. I think he's been fantastic. But I don't think that goal should have stood. Think about how they got the penalty. It was a kick from behind through the player. Now, this is a free kick as well. McAllister is kicking Javier down. That should have been a free kick, and it goes on to the goal from here. VAR should have taken that back. That is a clear and obvious mistake by the referee. And that, I think, I feel a little bit for Austria, because they've had it under control up until that moment.
Aber er den Mut gehabt hätte, seinem Schiedsrichter zu sagen, er soll sich die Szene davor nochmal anschauen, so wie es beim Elfmeter gemacht hat.
Right. When you look at those videos and also the interview from the Argentine, a manager giving us that update, you wonder, what side are we on? What's the rule book? Are we still following the law of the game, or it's just a different ballgame entirely? There are some pictures that when you look at it from the game between Egypt and Argentina, you're wondering, why was this cause not given? I wish you can have those pictures, displayed and all of that. And it's a whole lot, to wonder. It's a whole lot to think about. And Sanurudin, where have we lost it? What's the current situation with FIFA? Can we still go by the rule of the game? Because currently it doesn't look like it's working anymore.
The rules are there to be followed, and FIFA have shown us when you're in charge of the rules, you can do what you want with it. And definitely it's giving a cue to other lesser governing bodies of football in various continents to say we can do what we want when the time is right, and nobody can actually fault CAF again for giving the Moroccan team the AFCON after the final victory was having blown. So football is what it is now, and a lot of people lost interest in it due to what has happened over the past couple of weeks. Be consistent in your decisions, and over the footballing season we complained about Arsenal FC getting decisions in their way, and at the end of the day we've seen that it's not about the team itself.
Is this a penalty call to you, Sanurudin?
That's not a penalty.
I mean, no, I mean to Salah.
I guess, yes, that's a penalty. He definitely was stripped off. His boot left his legs, and the referee didn't even give it a whiff of a chance to check at all. And the people in the VAR room as well didn't remember there was something called clear and obvious error, or a foul in the box at that moment. That's one of the points in the game that I felt the Egyptians would definitely lose their minds and say, what else do we want to do against this team? And a lot of people are clamoring for the Al-Asim guy, the winger, to have been kept on. He had given all he had in his tank, and if you are playing against the rule book, we all play mobile games. We know how hard it is to play some God levels, and definitely the biggest God level in football right now is FIFA and their rule books, and they're not playing by it, they're not playing fair, using to circumvent the rules to favor a team. Might look coincidence most times, but definitely this is one too many times for a team and a player to get these decisions go their way, and at the end of the day get away with it.
All right, that's a situation that happened yesterday, and we hope that all these changes will be made. And
what changes actually
it needs to stop.
What changes do you actually think they need to make? They've shown us what they want to do. At the end of the day, we can blame VR from now to tomorrow, but at the end of the day, the VR is just a technology that was introduced to aid the decisions of the referee, just like the goal line technology. The goal line technology definitely improved the level of the game, and VR was brought to bring real-time clarity to incidents that are cloudy, and it's been used to torment some teams and used to favor some teams, and it has got to that boiling point now on the biggest stage. We're still having the same issues from way back that we've always had. Easy that we scrap the VAR now and leave decisions back to the referee, and let's stick with the controversies and not know what has happened in the game and move on and complain over the highlights, and then having something that clearly points at what has happened in the game, decisions happening in the same game with two different outcomes. That's now to govern the game, or that's now to play the game of football. And we hope, like you said, they make changes as soon as possible, and investigations go into why these decisions are being made. And to cap it off, the Morocco-France game is going to be refereed by an Argentinian contingent. It is what it is, and we are going to see what's going to happen in the first quarterfinal of the 2026 World Cup, and we'll take our inferences from there.
All right, just 8 teams through to the quarterfinal of the 2026 World Cup, taking place in Mexico, Canada, and the USA. Morocco are going to face France. Is going to be Norway against England, Spain against Belgium, and Argentina against the Swiss. The Swiss had to glue that one on penalty.
I was about to say, it was interesting as well, but the events from what happened in the game between Egypt and Argentina definitely took the headlines away from such interesting and tactical game that happened later in the night. But at the end of the day, the Swiss side qualified and they had their goalkeeper to praise. He saved the penalty that took them to the next round. And kudos to them, and let's see what happens between them and Argentina in the quarterfinals.
All right, let's start off with the one we're looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be Morocco against France.
That's a very big one, a repeat of the last one of the semi-finals from the last time out in Qatar, and we hope to see the improvements from both sides. Who's going to take themselves to the next stage with this match? The Moroccans have been interesting in the tournament. We saw what they did against Brazil. They gave them a run for their money, and the remaining 2 games in the group stages, they aced the games out. And in the round of 32 and round of 16, they demolished their opponents, knocking out one of the hosts of the competition along the way. They've been one of the most exciting sides in this competition, and I hope what to see they have. I would like to see what they have against the French national team, who have been treated to be favourite right now. They have the best attack in the game, and they've got the right balance for the team. And a lot of questions have been asked about how Didier Deschamps was going to utilize this team in his final tournament in charge of the French national team. And he's done it fantastically well, answered all questions, won all their games in regulation time. They had trouble against the Paraguayans because of the style of football that was employed, but still they overcame that with a 1-goal victory from Kylian Mbappe, who is leading the charge excellently well, doing what he has to do to take his team to the next round. So, exciting matchup ahead. Repeat of semi-final from last time out. Who's going to win? Is France going to extend their lead and against African nations and defeat the Moroccans again, or Morocco will take on the light of the African contingent into the semi-finals this time again?
I want to ask you, what area of strength should both managers be looking forward to? For the French national team, you want to say maybe the attack as the prowess, but for the Moroccans, the Atlas Lions, what do you think is their greatest strength going against this French all-star team?
It's the way they utilize their fullbacks. That is what has helped them a lot in this competition. They have a very balanced midfield, and the holding midfielder, I'm yet to get used to his name right now, but Boadi, yes, he's done wonders throughout the World Cup, and he's going to have a field day against Rabiot and Tchouaméni, and whoever Didier Deschamps employs at the end of the day, but most likely you have those 2 guys on standby to help the French national team. So the utilization of their fullbacks is going to be very key, because Koundé is not the strongest and Digne is not the strong, and for the French national team, that looks like the weak point in their game. If you give them the ball, they will hurt you. But if you are able to stress them and get the game from creating chances as much as possible, I don't think going to have a good game. And like I mentioned, the fullback position is going to be key for them. Achraf Hakimi running from one end, open the side, and it's going to Mazraoui on the other side to open the team moving forward. It's going to be very difficult, and the French national team need to defend more than they've done in all competition long against these opponents, because this look like a side that will give them a run for their money. They have trickery in them. They are compact defensively. They have a good goalkeeper in Yassine Bono. Their players are world stars, and they are also at the level of technicality that will give you a run for your money. So definitely it's a big game. France against Morocco, I'll be glued to my TVs.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure everyone will be glued to their TVs. And Norway, England, Spain, Belgium, Argentina, Swiss. We'll be talking about all of that, starting also from tomorrow. We'll just give you a few tips of what to expect tomorrow's game between Morocco and France. It's time to talk the Wimbledon. More actions packed right there, and it's frantic. So much to look forward to when it comes to that. Now, the picture on your screen right there, our former producer, is the last time there was not a big 3 in the member of the semi-finals as Wimbledon 2002. 24 years with Novak Djokovic win over Aliassime, the streak is still alive. So Nuruddin, what to look forward to also is going to be Jannik Sinner against Novak Djokovic, will face each other in the Wimbledon semi-final. Jannik Sinner leads the head-to-head to 6-5, and is currently on a 5-match win streak before Novak snapped it in Australia earlier this year. Yannick won the last meeting on grass in 2025 Wimbledon, a semi-final in straight set. The world number 1 and defending champion versus 7-time champion. Who wins, Sanurudin?
That's a very big one, and that's the final before the final for me. I lost interest on the other side of the draw right now. But definitely I still miss Carlos Alcaraz. Maybe he would have spiced up the story of the tournament. But yesterday, when the Argentina game was going on, the match between Djokovic and Aliassime was going on as well, and it took them 5 hours, 3 hours after the drama in USA over refereeing decisions. The match was still ongoing.
I'm sorry, I want to ask you, sorry to cut you. There have been complaints about closing the roof, and Novak Djokovic was not happy about it. Also, Felix also was not happy about it. That why is it this time you are deciding to close the roof? We have asked for it several times. So everybody are complaining about some certain rules.
Everybody are complaining, and even earlier in the competition, at the preliminary stages, players had to cut their interview time shots to protest for money again, just as they did at the French Open in Paris last month. And a lot of decisions are not in the hands of the athletes anymore. People earning money from these actions they do on the field of play or on the court of where they do their thing. They bring out stringent rules and do a whole lot of things just to satisfy the people they get their money from. And at the end of the day, it's most times not tuned to what the players want. We've complained so much about the hydration break at the World Cup. Even in closed roof stadiums, hydration break is still mandated upon the team, which is something that kills the momentum of the game. And that's not definitely what we want on a grand scale. But it's something they said they want to utilize, and there's nothing we can do about it. And for the closed roof situation, a host of players complained right from the beginning of the competition up until this moment, saying moments when we want the roof closed to reduce the temperature and which affects the intensity of the game. They don't get the call done. The umpire says you have to play on like that. And moments when you don't need the roof closed, definitely sing to the tune of the players and open the roof. They won't allow them. So it's just controversial all around the world in the world of sports now. Decision makers are playing to the tunes of their subscribers and people will get their money from, and the players definitely are not having it. More matches to play for them, more competitions to partake in, but the conditions and the pay is not matching what they want to do. And I think maybe when other investors come in, create competitions that would better suit the conditions of these players, maybe definitely we'll see a shift in that and a development different from what we currently have. But right now, the players need to stick with what is happening in the field of play. Take it as it is, and if you want to win championships or you want to win titles, definitely you have to win through those conditions and show that you're the best. And for the semi-final coming up, it's going to be an interesting one. If you remember the match at the Australian Open, it was a 5-setter, very interesting. Novak took it to the next level before he lost in the final to Carlos Alcaraz when he completed his career slam. But this is a different ball game. Like you mentioned, Sinner is leading on head-to-head. That's one to definitely see. And I'm sorry, it's a very big one for Grandpa Nole. I'm sorry, his fans won't agree to that name, but he's done it time and time again. And the question now is, what else does he want? He's the man with the most Grand Slam titles, won a lot of matches, man with the biggest win rate at Wimbledon right now, surpassed Roger Federer in the early stages of the competition. So it's interesting to see what is going to happen in this game, and definitely, like I said, this is the final before the final, and everybody's looking forward to it.
All right, let's talk more stories as Coco Gauff and Karolina Machova would face each other in the semi-finals of the Wimbledon. Coco Gauff leads the head-to-head 6-1, but when you look at Karolina, who won their most recent match in Stuttgart this year, they have never played on grass, who advanced to the first Wimbledon final. Now, let me inform you that Machova defeated Naomi Osaka 7-6, 6-4 in 2 straight sets, reaching first Wimbledon semi-final, first Slam semi-final in 2 years, 9 consecutive wins, all on grass and a grass court masterclass against the former world number 1. She's now reached the semi-final, or better in all 4 slams, the 5th slams in semi-final. One of the most remarkable talents in the sport. Also, let me inform you, at the age of 22, Coco Gauff becomes the youngest player to make the semi-final of all 4 Grand Slams since Maria Sharapova in 2007, the young history maker. So it's going to be interesting between Coco Gauff and Machova. For you, interesting times when it comes to the Wimbledon.
Yes, this is what tennis serves. It gives you thrills, gives you drama, and a lot of interesting matchups along the side. And this season on grass, Coco Gauff has been excellent, breaking milestones she hasn't done before in her career. Now into the semi-final of the Wimbledon for the first time, and looking forward to what she has in stock against Muchova. You mentioned she lost the last matchup in them on clay, which was definitely Coco Gauff's tough, where you expect her to have the edge, but she lost that game out. But let's see what happens this time around, and it's going to be interesting to see. She's equaled the record for having reached the semi-final, the youngest player to reach semi-final of all the 4 slams, and this is a very big one ahead of the US Open. Let's see where she ends her career ranking this time around on the season on clay, and it's also going to be interesting, and looking forward to the match.
Let's look at Fritz and Zverev, Koboli, and Ferry. Looking forward to that one. What are your expectations for that game quickly?
I expect Zverev
quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. That is the order, and I said a lot interesting. Immediately, I saw the matchup between Djokovic and Sina on that end. So I expect Zverev to get to the semi-finals, and maybe Frey should definitely get onto the national as well. Maybe it's the semi-finals between Zverev and Frey, because it's had a great competition, had the 5-setter in the quarterfinals to get to this stage, and looking forward to also see if what he still has in stock for us looking forward.
In the WTA, it's going to be Anaskova against Mertens and Kostyuk against Paolini.
Yes, this is another interesting matchup to look forward to. Paolini and Muchova, they had their run on clay. They defeated themselves in Masters 1000 events earlier in this year, and it's getting interesting at this point. Who's going to edge out on grass? Because grass is different ball play, and this year tennis has definitely decided to print new champions, and Zverev has been one on the ultimate front. A lot of new players snapping up their first titles, and a lot of sensations being revealed to us looking to the future. So definitely Matija Kostyuk and all other players on the underside of the draw are giving us something exciting to look forward to.
I want to ask you, are you missing Carlos Alcaraz in this competition?
I mentioned that earlier. True. Definitely one of the greatest players to grace the court of play, and it's so sad he had to go out injured and not have the chance to increase his tally of points this year. He completed his career Grand Slam earlier in the year at the Australian Open, but since then it's been a downturn for him. Got 1 or 2 Masters 1 titles before that, and before the French Open he got injured. He wasn't able to defend this title, which he won over Jannik Sinner last time out, and gave the chance to Zverev to lift that. Now again he's missing the Wimbledon, and he's chosen a longer path in his career than a short-term favour, because if he had played in this competition, maybe it would have affected the amount of time he's going to have in the competition. So definitely there is next year for him. He still has about 18 years on top.
He's still very young.
He's still a youngster, and having achieved what he has achieved, definitely you don't need to rush things anymore and take things easily and watch after your health.
At least for now, Jannik Sinner, you can enjoy the sport for now, but when I'm back, definitely...
Even with his absence, he was not able to capture all the slams on display. He was defeated in the French Open. He lost through to each stroke, and now he's back at the semi-finals of the Wimbledon. I expect him to defeat Novak Djokovic at the end of the day.
Hopefully.
He's going to defeat Novak, in my own opinion. Except Novak rolls back the years and gives us a performance like that of the Australian Open and take out Jannik Sinner again. It's just going to be interesting to see.
All right, definitely. That's the update from Wimbledon, giving you all packed update right there. Tomorrow is going to be very, very exciting for you to join us, because we're going to be looking straight into the World Cup quarterfinal stage, Morocco against France, and also taking a dive straight into other stories in the world of the World Cup, and also serving you updates when it comes to the world of transfers. So many players are making the moves. We'll be talking about that on the show definitely tomorrow. So why not join us? Well, before we go, why not hit the subscribe button, follow us on all social media platforms, on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. Like, share, and drop your comment. And this is where we draw the curtain on today's show. We say a big thank you to everyone that joined us. We're going to see you again tomorrow at same station, same time, right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice.